Hello everyone, welcome back to our Unity FPS controller series. In today's episode, we're going to create the Dynamic Reactive Crosshair. Unlike a static crosshair, this one will react to the player's actions. When the player starts moving, the crosshair will expand. When sprinting or shooting, it will expand even further. And when the player stops moving, it will smoothly return back to its default size. This is a small feature, but it makes your FPS game feel much more polished and responsive. So without wasting any more time, let's get started. First of all, let's create our crosshair inside the canvas. Create a new image and name this as crosshair. This object will act as the parent of our entire crosshair. Now set its width and height to 70 each. This will be the default size of our crosshair. Next, change the image alpha to 0. The reason we're making it fully transparent is because we don't actually want to render this parent image. We're only using it as a container to organize and animate all the crosshair elements. Now let's change the old crosshair name to dot and make it a child of new crosshair. This will ensure the center dot stays perfectly aligned while the parent object changes its size. Now let's create our first crosshair line. Inside the crosshair object, create another image. Name it as top line. And now set its width to 5 and height to 35. And now hold Alt and Shift to set its anchor's pivot and position to top center. Why are we using the top center anchor? Because later we'll be changing the size delta of the parent crosshair object. If the anchors aren't set correctly, the lines won't expand in the correct direction. Using the proper anchor ensures the line always stays attached to the top edge while the crosshair grows and shrinks. And now let's adjust the top line's position and change its color to red. And now let's create the remaining lines. Rotate and position them accordingly. Now our complete crosshair is ready. If we resize the parent object, all 4 lines automatically move apart while keeping their alignment. This makes the animation much simpler because we only need to animate one rect transform instead of 4 different UI elements. Now let's create the logic behind our dynamic crosshair. Create a new C# script and name it crosshair. Open the script in Visual Studio. Since this script won't be attached directly to any game object, we'll make it a serializable class. So remove mono behavior, add serializable attribute. Also remove the start and update methods because we won't need them. The first variable we'll create is the crosshair itself. Let's add serialize field, private rect transform, cross_hair. This stores a reference to the parent crosshair object that we just created inside the canvas. Next, we need multiple variables for different sizes of crosshair. But first, let's add header for crosshair sizes to organize the inspector. The first size we need will be compact size. Let's add serialize field, private float compact size equals 70. This represents the default size of the crosshair. Whenever the player is standing still, the crosshair will stay at this size. Next, we need an expanded size. Let's add serialize field, private float expanded size equals 90. This size is used whenever the player starts walking or simply rotates the camera. Finally, we need the max size. Let's add serialize field, private float max size equals 110. This is the largest size of our crosshair. We'll use it while sprinting or shooting because these actions usually represent lower weapon accuracy. Next, we need a transition speed of the crosshair. Let's add serialize field, private, float, size change speed equals 10. This controls how quickly the crosshair transitions between different sizes. Instead of instantly changing its size, we'll animate it smoothly. Now let's create the main function that will update the crosshair size. Let's add public void update crosshair size and pass multiple bool parameters in this method. First bool will be for is sprinting, second will be for is walking, and third will be for is shooting. Now, instead of checking these player states inside this class, we're simply receiving them from our player and weapon systems that we already defined, and we'll add is walking or is moving check in our FPS controller later in this video. The first thing inside this method is we'll check if the camera is rotating or not. Let's add a bool is rotating equals input dot get axis mouse x is not equal 0, or input dot get axis mouse y is not equal 0. Whenever the player moves the mouse, this value becomes true, even though the player may not be walking. Rotating the camera still creates movement from the player's perspective. Next, we need a variable to store the current size of crosshair we want the crosshair to reach. Let's add float target size. Now our logic is very simple. First of all, we check for expanded size. Let's check if not is sprinting and is walking, or is rotating. This means if player is walking or rotating the camera, then we simply say our target size is expanded size. Now we'll check for max size. Let's say else if is sprinting or is shooting, then the target size will be max size. Now we'll check if player is idle. We'll use compact size in else block. Let's say else the target size will be compact size. This will create 3 different visual states for our crosshair. And now we'll smoothly change the current size of the crosshair. But first, let's add a new variable for current size. Let's say private float current size. Now, instead of snapping immediately to the new size, we'll use math_f.lerp to smoothly interpolate between the current size and the target size. Let's say current size equals math_f.lerp, and it's from current size to target size, size change speed multiplied by time dot delta time. Now we'll simply update the rect transform of our crosshair. Let's say crosshair dot size delta equals new vector 2 and pass current size of x and y. Changing the size delta automatically pushes all 4 crosshair lines outward or pulls them back inward because they're children of this parent object. This is why we designed our UI hierarchy this way in the beginning. I noticed I made a mistake in our first if condition. Instead of checking is walking, I write is sprinting. Let's fix this. Now our crosshair script is complete. Let's go back to our FPS controller script to add a bool to check when the player is moving. So inside our variables, add public bool is walking. When our character controller moves, we'll update this value now inside our handle movement method. Let's add is walking equals controller dot velocity dot magnitude is greater than 0.1. Let's understand what's happening here. The character controller gives us the player's current velocity. If the magnitude of that velocity is greater than 0.1, we'll consider the player to be moving. I'm using 0.1 instead of checking for exactly 0 because movement values are rarely perfectly 0 due to floating point precision. And small velocity changes. Back to our weapon controller script, let's create a reference to our crosshair class. But first, let's add a header for crosshair. After that, let's add serialized field. Private crosshair cross_hair. Now scroll down to the update method. Every frame, we want our crosshair to react according to the player's current state. Now let's call our update crosshair method there. Let's say crosshair dot update crosshair size. And now for his sprinting, we want the crosshair to change when player is actually sprinting, not when press the shift key. So let's say FPS dot is sprinting and FPS is walking. I guess we changed the name of his walking bool because it's like we are checking for sprinting and walking. But actually I want to check if we press the shift key and we are moving. We want our crosshair to change size when player is actually sprinting. So let's change the name of is walking to is moving. And that is moving. Now this means the player must actually be moving while holding the sprint key. Now let's add for is walking, let's say not FPS dot is sprinting and FPS dot is moving. This means the player is moving normally, but is not sprinting. And simply pass is shooting for third parameter. Now our dynamic crosshair is almost complete. The only thing left is aiming down sights. If you've played modern FPS games like Call of Duty or Battlefield, you'll notice that the crosshair usually disappears as soon as the player aims. The reason is very simple. When aiming down sights, the weapon itself becomes the aiming reference. Let's do this. We'll add a simple check. Let's say if he's aiming, we'll simply hide the crosshair. But first, let's change the access of crosshair from private to public. Now let's hide this crosshair. Let's say crosshair dot crosshair and set active to false. And simply return. This is because the player is aiming. We don't continue updating the crosshair size because the crosshair isn't even visible. This also avoids doing unnecessary calculations every frame. Now, if the player is not aiming, we simply enable the crosshair game object again. Back to Unity Editor, select the weapon, and assign the crosshair reference. Now hit play to test the crosshair. And if hold the right mouse button for aiming, you can see our crosshair is disabled. And if I release the aim, our crosshair is enabled again. And if start moving, you'll notice the crosshair reacts smoothly to every player action and automatically disappears while aiming. That's it from this video. I'll see you next one. If you liked the tutorial, please subscribe the channel.